If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/audio.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've got a personal auto insurance question, you could talk to a cab driver, although the policies he recommends might include avoiding the interstate, beating traffic by taking the back roads, and only making left turns when absolutely necessary. Or you could talk to your local Geico agent, whose policy is to use their expertise to navigate your insurance, finding the best route to help you save money on insurance for your home, car, and more. And as an added bonus, you'll be able to avoid traffic jams and potholes entirely. To find a Geico agent near you, visit geico.com/local.
Hi, I'm Addie. Since before I was born, Tampa Electric has been cleaning up their energy. They've added lots of solar panels, so by the time I'm finished with high school
and off to college, they'll be way beyond their goal of reducing carbon emissions by 60%. After that, an 80% reduction goal by 2040. In fact, by the time I'm raising
kids of my own, Tampa Electric aims to reach net zero carbon emissions. To learn more about their vision for a cleaner energy future, visit TicoNetZero.com. Tampa Electric, energy for good.
If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at kmdlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to kmdlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law.
Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
Is your credit in bad shape? Do you need a new car? Ready to buy a new house? You want to rent an apartment? Are you going to apply for a job? Any one of these activities, they're going to ask for a credit report and then check out your credit score. Let Dynamic Solutions 2 erase your negative credit remarks. You go to www.dynamicsolutions2, that's the number 2.com, or call 424-888-2820. Now, if you enter promo code ED or you mention Ed Opperman, you get a 10% discount. How's that? You get a free consultation, all negative items removed, get back in positive credit position. Dynamic Solutions 2, life-changing dynamic financial solutions. PureSoapFlakes.com, 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to sing a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman, president of Opperman Investigations and Digital Forensic Consulting. You could find me there through my website, emailrevealer.com. If you like today's show, check out our member section at OppermanReports.com. That's where we have all kind of exclusive content and the documents, all kinds of things. And if you want to check out our free archives, you can go to Spreaker.com. That's where we have our free archives. You can go there for free, sign up for free. And you'll get an email notification anytime there's new content goes up. And there's a chat room. All kind of fun stuff there. Okay. My guest today. I got an email pretty much out of the blue about, and she says, Ed, I want to tell you about what went on at the Presidio back in the 1980s. I says, okay. And she said, she told me who she is. You know, she has a very credible background, professional person, a legitimate person. I checked her out. But she wants to come on the show anonymously. We're going to call her Maggie. That's not her real name. But she's got some fascinating content here to share with you. So, Maggie, are you there?
Yeah, hi.
How are you? So, I know we can't go into too much detail about your background and stuff like that, but tell us about your life. Who are you? What do you want the audience to know about you?
Well, I was born and raised in San Francisco, California, and I had a career overseas where I was working in a lot of war zones. And one of the reasons why I remembered the thing that I emailed you about is because through my work, I saw a lot of the kind of really awful things that happen in our war zones overseas to men, women, and children. And I was very upset by it to the extent that I think I pretty much have PTSD. Like a lot of soldiers, I wasn't a soldier, but like a lot of soldiers that come back, I'm still dealing with the things that I saw, even though it happened a pretty long time ago at this point. Although I have seen kind of what we do indirectly in a lot of countries around the world as well. And, you know, when I came back to this country, I people were talking about Pizzagate and stuff like that. And, you know, of course, it sounds ridiculous, you know, Hillary Clinton, you know, I didn't believe it at all. But I did want to see what are people talking about. So I was just looking into it a little bit. And that's when I sort of started seeing this artwork by Marina Abramovich.
Right.
And yeah, and I was really triggered by looking at that art because for me, it's, I felt the message. I'm sure everybody has their own interpretation of her artwork, but given my experiences, what I felt when I looked at her art was that the elites of the world have the right to torture and vivisect the poor. That's what I saw. I saw images of, you know, naked women lying in a trough filled with blood, you know, and people are eating her like a cake. And I guess of course, it's all an optical illusion. It's not a real person lying there, but, you know, they're cutting the person, they're cutting her vagina and eating it. They're cutting her breast and eating it. and there's, I guess they flavored the quote unquote blood as strawberry or cherry. But anyways, these kind of images just really, really upset me deeply. And I was just thinking, like, how is this art and what is the message here? You know, and I'm a very open-minded person. I mean, I you know, lived all over the world. I've lived all over this country too. And you know, I would classify myself as a far leftist. I'm super tolerant and open-minded. I'm not some weird alt-right person or something. You know, I just, like, it upset me a lot. And I just felt like, you know, her work was somehow trying to hypnotize people into looking directly at something horrific and normalizing it.
Let me interrupt you right there, because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And when I first saw her artwork, I was triggered as well. Plus, I was going through a lot of other stuff. And with some of that stuff, that stuff in the pool with the dogs and the kids, those paintings, whoever painted that has witnessed that type of emotion. They've seen that kind of brutality. They've seen that not in their imagination. They've experienced it. There's no doubt in my mind.
Right.
I'd like to get I'd like to get into a little bit of Maggie, though, because you mentioned you've been traveling all over the world. You were born in San Francisco, I believe it was. Give us you're totally anonymous, so you can't be vain about your age, right? So you can tell us what your age is.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm 50.
50 years old, okay. You look much younger. Because, by the way, she's a well-known person. You can Google her and see who she is. You look much younger.
Oh, God.
Okay. And what countries have you visited?
I visited every country. I've been everywhere.
Okay. I'm jealous. Okay. And when you say you've seen these atrocities committed by this is by the U.S. government, the U.S. Army?
Yeah, by our military. You know, I'm not talking about by our soldiers. You know, I'm talking about by our bombs, by our weaponry, our unbelievable weaponry. We have the most advanced, most sophisticated killing machines the world has ever seen. I can't. I mean, we have taken it to a level that is wow. I don't know how much more sophisticated it can get. I don't know. I mean, we're really good at killing people. We're really good at maiming them, at torturing them, at torturing children. And, you know, so that's, you know, and, you know, the entire of the United States is not witnessing that, right? It's the only people that see it are people like me or soldiers, perhaps. Not even all soldiers see it, right? Because a lot of them have a compartmentalized existence in these places. But, you know, when you see that, and then you come back here and you see how people are just totally oblivious to it, and they're arguing about dumb stuff, you know, on Twitter, and it's just like, you just think, wow, you know, it's just like Marina Abramovich's artwork. It's like people are looking directly at something absolutely horrific, and it's totally normalized as if they didn't see it at all. It's just, you know, anyway,
they're sitting back here. They're sitting back with their feet up, making jokes about dropping bombs on Iran. We're going to totally disconnected from human life, from human suffering. And human
I mean, what we've already done. I mean, there's 1 million orphans in Iraq. I mean, just go look it up. You know, I mean, anyway, Syria too. You know, everything.
Right, and these children, by the way, they wind up in sex trafficking, because I've dealt with some of these kids. They get here in bizarre ways too that I can't really explain. But they right. Yeah, you know, there's something going on there too. That just kills me. That kills me thinking about that. It's just like, I feel like we have unendingly tortured the people of Iraq, and it really hurts. What do you know? One second. One more question. I hate to interrupt you, but what about Abu Ghraib? What went on at Abu Ghraib? Do you have any firsthand knowledge of what went on over there? I don't have firsthand knowledge. I have secondhand knowledge because a good friend of mine was tortured at Abu Ghraib. Okay, what can you tell us? I really can't tell you much. It's just because of his identity, they didn't torture him as much as they tortured other people. So he really had it easy. But I can tell you that comparatively, but I can tell you that he did witness children in Abu Ghraib, little girls, and women, and but he was kept away, I think, from the worst of it for sure. Now, what I was told, and I've always doubted this, but I was told by someone I think I should trust, is that they would arrest a parent bring their children there, rape the kids in front of their parent, film it, and those films were sent to the White House.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I definitely would believe it because it was a total atmosphere of impunity over there. And I think Seymour Hersh is the one that put his good name behind that one. I would believe it. I would.
Yeah.
They were using sexual torture on them because it was, I guess it was believed that that would be the most impactful torture on people who have so much pride and honor around sex and sexuality and who guard their sexuality and their modesty so vigilantly.
Man, there's no better way to torture a parent by hurting their kids right in front of them. But
I'm sure you would just commit suicide after that.
Yeah.
If you're from the Iraqi society, that's more than you could take. Yeah. Way more than you could take. I mean, they study the psychological makeup of the Iraqi people. They studied it before they did these things. You know, their Bedouin roots, their beliefs in honor, tribal spirit, and things like that. They study all that stuff. Their manliness, the centrality of manliness. They study all that stuff and then they use it against them. It's really awful.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on the show, okay, and sharing this with us, because it's tough to get a guest to come on and talk about that stuff even, okay? Even people that have written books about it, and they come on here and they can't do it. Now, but the reason why you emailed me was about your childhood in San Francisco involving the Presidio. So why don't you take us into that story?
Yeah. So the reason I remembered it was because of, this Marina Abramovich artwork and stuff. It's just like suddenly this piece of information that I had kind of tucked away and not thought about for 40 years. Suddenly, I just remembered it. It's not like I forgot it. It just wasn't useful information. So I had it kind of stored back there. And I suddenly remembered it, that I had my own encounter with this kind of stuff. And then I was shocked that I had my own encounter. It was like I was looking at it going, wow, this happened in my life. It was just suddenly really weirded out by that. But so basically I was born and raised in San Francisco, and I went to Marina Middle School, which is Marina Middle School or Marina Junior High, we used to call it, is the closest school to the Presidio Army base. And when I was a kid, the Army base was still in operation. It was still very much in operation. And all my classmates were either from Chinatown, North Beach, or they were from the Army base. They were Army brats. And so growing up, going to that school, I had a lot of friends from the Army base and from the area around the base. So one day there was a new student who transferred in, and I'm pretty sure that this was in the 1982-1983 school year when we were, quote, seniors and about to go on to high school.
Right.
She transferred into our school, and her name was Jessica, but she wanted us to call her Chris. And she was a beautiful girl. She was so beautiful. If she had grown her hair out, she would have been the prettiest girl in school, I'm sure. She had a shaved head. And she used to always wear the same outfit to school every day, which was a black leotard with the neck cut out and jeans and a rhinestone necklace that was like the kind that you would see like beauty queens wearing, like a really elaborate, and so she kind of, the effect was she looked like a really beautiful little punk rocker. And that's how I always thought of her, as like a cute punk, she was pretty. And, anyways, her behavior was a little bit outrageous. We immediately made friends with her, and her behavior was a little bit outrageous. Like she would do stuff that, like she would cut herself. She had these scars all up and down her arms from cutting herself, which she obviously had been doing for a while. And she would cut herself sort of to get attention from people. Like she would cut herself on the schoolyard and like blood would start running down her arms. And then people would start screaming, "Oh my God, look at that girl. What's she doing?" You know? And she really loved the attention. She would just do it some more. And of course, this is the early 80s. It's not the Me Too era. It's not the woke era. No adults gave a damn. They didn't care.
So true.
Yeah, it's just like, sometimes I think, anyways, that's a different topic. It's just, you know, nobody cared. And we were weirded out by it, but didn't really know what to make of it. And anyways.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Looking back now, do you think she has some kind of mental illness?
No, I don't.
Okay. Now, was she like a happy-go-lucky kind of person, or could you tell she was distressed?
I thought she was actually normal. I thought she was like a normal person, but she just had some acting out behaviors.
Gotcha. And remember too, cutting back then was like, no one heard of cutting back in those days. Today, all the kids do it now today, but back in those days, it was unheard of. So you become friends with this kid, then what happens?
Yeah. So, all right. So she lived very close to Marina and the Presidio. Marina is like about, I don't know, maybe 8 blocks away from the Presidio. And if the street that connects Marina to the Presidio is a street called Chestnut Street. So she lived right on Chestnut Street in a storefront above a storefront, in an apartment above a storefront on Chestnut, kind of right back smack in the middle between Marina and the Presidio, like 4 blocks from equidistant from each one of them, approximately. And so we used to go over to kids' houses to get drunk or high or something after school. We were 12 and 13, but we were trying to act like we were way older. And
you actually put in the email that you were smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
You were trying to be bad. You smoked cigarettes. I thought that was funny.
We'd get tremendous headaches.
Yeah, right.
And just keep doing it because we were so determined, or at least I, speaking for myself, I was so determined to be a grown up and be tough. And so
was this just a group of girls or girls and guys?
It was a bunch of girls and some boys too, but mostly girls.
Right.
And so, we used to, I think I wrote you in my email, we used to get drunk and put on Journey and sing Open Arms and Fall Down and hug each other and stuff. And I mean, we were really kind of cute, I guess, in our attempt to be bad kids.
Now, let me ask you a question. Besides this girl, Jessica Chris, the girl we're talking about, the subject, these other girls in the group, have you kept in touch with any of them who would remember the story?
I am not in touch with them, but I know how to reach them.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I can,
Okay.
All right, so anyway.
Es momento de revisar la cobertura en el mercado de seguros de salud y ver si usted califica para una mejor cobertura y precios más bajos. Para conocer sus opciones, visite healthcare.gov. ¿Complicado? No se preocupe. Un navegador de Covering Florida puede ayudarle a encontrar el mejor plan para usted y su familia. Visite coveringflorida.org o llame 877-813-9115. Desde ahora hasta el 15 de enero es gratis y confidencial. 877-813-9115.
Hi, I'm Abby. Since before I was born, Tampa Electric has been cleaning up their energy. They've added lots of solar panels, so by the time I'm finished with high school
and off to college, they'll be way beyond their goal of reducing carbon emissions by 60%. After that, an 80% reduction goal by 2040. In fact, by the time I'm raising
kids of my own, Tampa Electric aims to reach net zero carbon emissions. To learn more about their vision for a cleaner energy future, visit TicoNetZero.com. Tampa Electric, energy for good.
I don't know if any of them will, talk to you, but I would think they would, some of them. Anyway, so we used to go over to her house. We started going over to her house because her parents were never there. And what I realized right away was that, she, first of all, her mother was out of her life, that, her mom was absolutely not in her life, like hadn't been in her life for years. That was the impression that she gave us. And then the other thing was she lived alone with her dad. And when we went there, I noticed that there was no food in the kitchen at all. The refrigerator was empty. There was nothing in there ever. We went there several times. I mean, probably 4 or 5 times we went there, and never any food, except for cans of Campbell soup. And also the stove was broken. So it was as if nobody lived there, you know?
Let me interrupt you for a second, too. Was this a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment?
You're asking me to remember something pretty hard. Mm-hmm. I think that I don't remember. Let's put it this way. I don't remember her ever showing us her room.
See? Okay.
Yeah. But I know that her dad had a room, but she never, like, we would hang out in her living room, which is where there was like a couch and some chairs.
Gotcha. Now, and as a teenage girl, wouldn't that be uncommon? Like when you would visit other girls' house, wouldn't right away you go to their room?
Probably, but it wasn't a normal house because in a normal house, you know, there'd be a parent there.
I got you.
You know?
I got you.
Yeah. So anyway, so she was eating soup without cooking it. That's how she survived. She would like take a can of Campbell's cream of mushroom soup and sit down on the couch and just crack it open and eat it cold and congealed straight out of the can. Mm. And then, of course, everybody was like, ew, gross, you know, and she was like saying, you know, I love it, you know, shut up, you know, I like it. But that's all she ever had. You know, she didn't have anything else to eat. Mm. So that was really disturbing to me. And I'd never met a kid that didn't have a mom, I mean, in their life, you know, like maybe only a mom in their life, but not no mom in their life. So I was already kind of disturbed. And then anyway, so one day we were at her house. You know, it just looked so sad, you know, I mean, with her shaved head and eating the soup that way. And I don't know, just like the image that I was really getting was that absolutely nobody cared about her. Mm-hmm. Nobody. So anyway, one day when we were at her house, she went into her dad's bedroom. She came back out with a black book in her hand. And she said, "This is a satanic Bible." And we all like crowded around and stuff and, you know, looking at it. And, you know, I don't remember exactly what else was said, except for that I do remember that she said that her dad was close friends with Anton LaVey. Now, because we were into heavy metal music, like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, you know, you name it, and all the obscure bands, Slayer and Venom. And although Slayer wasn't around at that time yet, I think, came around later, but Metallica, we were into all those bands. Sure. And so because of the, you know, and heavy metal has a lot of Satanism in it, you know, I mean, Ozzy, you know, everything. And so because of that, I did already actually know who Anton LaVey was. I knew who he was when she said that, so I didn't have to ask. And so she said, you know, my dad is close friends with Anton LaVey, and, you know, I know him too. And, you know, we've been over to his place or something. Like, she made it sound like he was a close family friend. And so, you know, and all of this to me was like no big deal. I was thinking, okay, it's fine, you know, because San Francisco, as I was explaining to you in my email, you know, growing up in San Francisco, we saw a lot of things that I don't think you would see in any other city of America, not even New York City, you know, back in the early 80s. You know, like growing up, you know, I used to see like the gay pride parades, you know, on Polk Street, you know, where, you know, there'd be like guys wearing leather chaps and nothing on underneath. You know, I grew up seeing that when I was like 8, 9, you know, and, you know, hippies are everywhere. You know, we had the Beans and stuff like that from the 60s, and all of those people were still in San Francisco living their lives. And, you know, you'd see like 2 people in the park, like doing some weird yoga, like, you know, where it's like they're having sex with each other, but they have their clothes on. I mean, just these are things that, you know, I just like, to me, all of this freaky stuff was totally normal, you know? So when she told me this, I was like, okay, well, you know, just another color of the rainbow in San Francisco, you know?
Right. Another way of life. No big deal. Let me ask you a question.
Another way of life. I didn't think there was something really wrong with it.
Now, outside of this, and this, where she discloses to you, she brings you the Satanic Bible. Was she into like the astrology or the occult or any kind of Ouija boards or that kind of stuff?
No, I mean, if she was, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So, and also she was a kid. So it was like, I didn't get the feeling that any of this was like her interest, you know, like she was into this. Like it was like her family was into this, you know what I mean? Like she never came to school and talked about this stuff. So, you know, it was like what happened when we were at her house.
Gotcha.
Anyway, yeah. So so I was not thinking that there was anything wrong with this at all. But then later, somehow or other, I don't remember exactly how, she told us, and not just me, she told other people that from this group of girls, that her father was having sex with her and bringing her to rituals where she was having sex with her father and a bunch of other adults were having sex with her at rituals. And, you know, that's when I thought, okay, you know, there's either two possibilities here. Either she's lying and making this up, or, you know, it's real. And then I remembered, you know, like just how she looked sitting there on the couch eating that cream of mushroom soup, and, you know, with her shaved head and her, you know, same outfit to school every day and the rhinestone beauty queen necklace and all that stuff. And I just thought to myself, no way, she's telling the truth, because she's being treated like a dog here by her family. I mean, you know, the cutting, you know, just everything together. I just realized, you know, like, why would she even tell us this? It doesn't make her look good. I mean, what could she possibly gain from this? And she didn't. It's not like she was telling everybody at school. It's like she told a few people. You know what I mean? And
well, let me ask you that. Now, did you talk about? You must have talked about boys you liked and stuff like that, and who you're dating, crushes and stuff like that. Was she involved in that kind of conversation and had interest in other boys her own age?
No.
No.
Actually, you know, Chris stopped coming to school. Like, she started being absent from school a lot. So it's like we got to know her real quick, and then there were some times when we went over to her house, and then it was kind of like she disappeared out of our lives. And then she was expelled from the school. So, you know, and this is 1982, 83, right? This is way before anybody talked about,
McMartin,
you know, like a
McMartin preschool.
McMartin, or about the Presidio scandal. You know, this is way before that.
So you're even saying that there would be no way for her to have seen this kind of stuff on TV, watched Dr. Phil. It was doing a lot back then, Geraldo and those kind of shows, and said and made it up based on that.
No, I don't think so. I don't even think that she had a working TV in her house. I mean, that was like, there's literally like nothing in that house. Anyways, I just, you know, I have never seen anybody so disturbed, really. And I mean, what is a 12, 13-year-old doing, you know, like, dressed like that, you know, with the shaved head and stuff? It's not normal.
Okay, let me take a little commercial break, and we'll come back. We're going to cover some more of this. We are with Maggie, who's using an assumed name because she doesn't want to be disgraced. Actually, you know, she doesn't want to be disgraced in her profession for revealing this kind of information. We were talking off the air about it. It's a shame that we have to tiptoe around, and these guys just do whatever they want, and we got to worry about looking bad. It's just so upside down and so backwards. And she's telling us about an email she sent me about the Anton LaVey and these allegations from this young girl who talked about having sex with her father and in group ritual sex and with satanic involvement. We'll be right back after these messages with more of our guest, Maggie. And Maggie, I forgot to tell you, during the commercial break, it's just dead air. So it's 3 minutes and 29 seconds long. It's just dead air. We can't really talk to each other. Okay, so we'll be right back with more of Maggie right after these messages. And now a word from our sponsors. If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers. I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at KMDlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to KMDlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law.
Are you ready to change your life, but don't know how to start? Is your stress and worries keeping you awake at night? Have you been battling grief, anxiety, or depression all alone? Have you lost touch with your own sense of being or spirituality? Soul Free Therapies offers professional and affordable live video streaming counseling and coaching services from the comfort of your own home. Sessions offered in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Go to our website at www.soul-free.com and book your first session today.
Hey, check out our brand new sponsor, Dynamic Solutions 2. That's the number 2. They offer a life-changing, dynamic financial solution. The finest in fast, professional, affordable credit repair. Is your credit in bad shape? Do you need a new car? Ready to buy a new house? You want to rent an apartment? Are you going to apply for a job? Any one of these activities, they're going to ask for a credit report and then check out your credit score. Let Dynamic Solutions 2 erase your negative credit remarks. They have affordable monthly prices. They accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal options available. You go to www.dynamicsolutions, that's the number 2.com, or call 424-888-2820. 424-888-2820. Now, if you enter promo code ED or you mention Ed Opperman, you get a 10% discount. How's that? You get a free consultation, all negative items removed, get back in positive credit position. Dynamic Solutions 2, life-changing dynamic financial solutions. 424-888-2820. Tell them Ed Opperman sent you. You get a 10% discount. PureSoapFlakes.com, 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to send a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator Ed Opperman. We're talking today with someone who's a listener to the show, by the way. She found me because she listens to the show. She's a professional, well-known, credible professional. You can look her up. And she has a regular professional life. And she's telling us about an experience she had near the Presidio. It's an army base, right, in San Francisco, growing up as a kid, where she came into contact with a young woman who was clearly a subject to some kind of trauma in her life. A couple of questions for you. Now, you said that she stopped coming to school. In relation to the time that she told you about what was going on, was it before or after she stopped, that she told you this when she stopped going to school? Like, do you think maybe like she told her dad, hey, I told everybody about what we do, and he kept her out of school?
Potentially. I don't know. I mean, definitely she told us that before she stopped coming to school.
Okay. Did you ever meet her father?
Nope. Never saw him a single time. He was never there. No. And sometimes I got the feeling that he didn't come home sometimes. Like she was just kind of on her own.
Did she ever mention what her father did?
But I'll tell you what.
Okay.
All right. No, she never mentioned what her dad does. Or if she did, I don't remember. But she I think the reason we stopped going to her house is because she stopped inviting us.
Oh. Okay, that's interesting.
You know.
Yeah. Now, Oh boy, I had so many questions when we were talking before. Okay, all right. Let's think. Did they have a car?
Yeah.
They did have a car.
I don't think. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, I was going to ask you this. Now, did she have a boyfriend at school outside of her father?
No.
Okay.
No, she did not. And by the way, this is really funny. As an adult, much later, I kind of read about, Colonel Michael Aquino and stuff, and realized that he lived right around the corner, literally 1 block away from my childhood home where I grew up. And I lived, so I was living 1 block away from that dude, during this whole time too.
Yeah, and you hear stories that he used to drive around in this Volkswagen that had machine gun turrets on it and stuff like that. Like the guy was walking, operating with impunity. Now,
I've never heard that, but his house. I mean, his house is a very beautiful house in a very respectable neighborhood where, at that time it was all like, preppies and yuppies. It was like, people with money.
Now, you said that most of the kids you met at your school were Army brats and stuff like that. Did you ever see any signs of abuse with those kids?
No. We had 2 friends who, they were twins, and their dad used to beat them with a belt when they were bad. But, I mean, no, I thought they were very...
Es momento de revisar la cobertura en el mercado de seguros de salud y ver si usted califica para una mejor cobertura y precios más bajos. Para conocer sus opciones, visite healthcare.gov. ¿Complicado? No se preocupe. Un navegador de Covering Florida puede ayudarle a encontrar el mejor plan para usted y su familia. Visite coveringflorida.org o llame 877-813-9115. Desde ahora hasta el 15 de enero es gratis y confidencial. 877-813-9115.
Hi, I'm Abby. Since before I was born, Tampa Electric has been cleaning up their energy. They've added lots of solar panels, so by the time I'm finished with high school
and off to college, they'll be way beyond their goal of reducing carbon emissions by 60%. After that, an 80% reduction goal by 2040. In fact, by the time I'm raising
kids of my own, Tampa Electric aims to reach net zero carbon emissions. To learn more about their vision for a cleaner energy future, visit TicoNetZero.com. Tampa Electric, energy for good.
Normal kids.
When she told you she was having sex with her father, and how old were you? You were about 12, 13?
Yeah.
Have you?
All of us were.
Were you aware of the concept of incest, children having sex with their parents?
Probably. I probably was. Yeah.
Okay. Now, it
wasn't the first time I'd ever heard of it, I don't think.
Okay. Because I'm 10 years older than you, and I think when I was 11, 12 years old, like the idea was so foreign to me, I couldn't even imagine that was going on. It was just so absurd. Well, what? Are you kidding? Well, why would they do that? But every kid knows it today. Now, did you tell anybody? Did you tell your parents? A teacher?
Nope, I didn't tell anybody, and that's what really, surprises me. But then, it's like basically, I thought because her father was the one doing this to her, and he's her dad, it's her guardian. So, on some weird level, I thought, even though this is horrific, he has the right, because it's his daughter, he gets to decide what to do with her. Like on some weird level, I was thinking that. And so, his authority was higher than the authority in my child mind. His authority was higher than the authority of any adult that I could potentially get involved. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Because any adult, wasn't to her dad. And then also I think I thought that nobody would believe it or nobody would care. And the way that the adults in our school acted, I mean, they didn't seem to care about us. So, I wasn't being encouraged to think anyone cared about us in the first place.
Yeah, it was a whole different world. It really is. Now, after she told you and all the other, she told you in a group setting. She told you, or she confided one-on-one.
Honestly, Ed, I've racked my brain and I can't remember how she told us. Okay. But all I remember is that she told more than one of us.
Now, so if you knew that more than one person knew, that means that you had to discuss this with your other friends that, hey, this is what she told me.
That's right.
Right.
Exactly. There was some conversation between us girls about what she had said. Exactly.
Right. And what was that conversation like?
Just kind of trepidation, like, whoa, that kind of thing, because what do you make of a piece of information like that? It's so bizarre and so shocking. And at the same time, you're this dumb little kid who's trying so hard to be a little adult, right, and to be tough and smoke cigarettes. And so you're trying so hard to let nothing shock you. You know what I mean? Like when I see these cases of like, those Damien Eccles and those people and stuff, I can almost see how people would keep a secret like that, because it's, I don't know, it's like in that child mind, where you're just thinking, you're trying to be tough, you're trying to be cool, and you don't understand yet how the world works and where the boundaries and limits are.
And also, it's not acceptable to snitch, to snitch out and tell, it's not acceptable, in childhood or prison.
I don't recall. I don't recall her ever telling us not to tell anybody.
Right.
It wasn't a secret, like, don't tell anybody. Yeah. It was just like, who would you tell? And, for what reason? Like, it was just, I don't know. Yeah, now I look back on it and I'm like, why wouldn't you tell somebody? But it just wasn't that woke era,
It's a whole different world.
It was,
Now, you said in your email that you ran into
this stuff.
You said in your email that you ran into her again at a concert years later.
Yeah, like about 2 years later, I ran into her at a heavy metal concert at the Cow Palace, and she was with two guys, and she was high and disoriented, really disoriented, and that's the last time that I saw her.
Now, were these guys much older?
No, they were like her age. They were like 16 or something.
Okay, what do you think she was high on?
I have no idea. I don't know. She was anxious, she was like it was like she was torn. She was like wanted to go this way and then wanted to go that way. She was confused. I thought that she was not drunk. I thought it was something else.
Okay. Now, and you're a public figure now. She's never tried to contact you or anything like that?
Oh, no. I mean, this is like another world for me. This is literally like, it's almost like just another life where it's almost like I'm just a different person now. I can't imagine her contacting me. I just can't imagine that.
Well, because I'm just saying, because I get contacted by people I went to middle school with all the time. Hey, aren't you that guy you went to school with? Or even one guy was a listener, and he says, "Boy, Ed, I hear your stories about growing up in the Bronx. I went to Blessed Sacrament." I said, "I went to Blessed Sacrament too. We were in the same class, just coincidentally, So they're out there. People find each other. Now, do you think maybe now you'd be inspired to go back and find these other girls you were friends with? You said you could find them and just swap stories back and forth.
I could find them.
Yeah, that might be.
I could find them for sure.
That might be a nice little.
Yeah, I mean, I would be willing to contact them and because they're all on Facebook and ask them if they'd be willing to talk to you, or I could just give you their Facebook information and let you contact them.
Okay, yeah, either way, but I would think that if you contacted them, you had short stories to share with each other about other things. Hey, remember this, remember that. More memories would come up, in a conversation like that, and then we could contact them for the show.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about people that I haven't spoken to since 1983.
Yeah.
So but they are out there. I know where to find them.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. They'd probably talk about you. Okay, Maggie, is there anything I haven't asked you that you want the audience to know?
No.
Okay, we think you got everything out. Listen, I can't thank you enough. If you remember something else, shoot me an email, okay? And we'll add it to the show.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and I really can't thank you enough for coming to me and bringing me this information. It really is important, especially when you can combine it with other people's stories and stuff like that, confirming things. It's a big help.
Yeah, it would be great if you could maybe interview some of the other ones and try to see, so you have more than one interview about this topic.
Well, also too, or if Jessica Chris is out there, wants to contact us, we could verify who you are and hear from you directly. We'd love to hear that,
Yeah, that would be amazing.
What do you want to leave us with?
Oh,
little wrap.
Nothing, Ed. Really, I feel emotionally exhausted telling that story. So
yeah. I know. It is very exhausting. It does bring up past traumas and stuff like that and memories, especially at the beginning when we're talking about all that stuff with the Pizzagate and Abramovich. Did you see that documentary, by the way, that's out there about Abramovich, where she's traveling around Brazil and stuff?
No, I didn't. I find her art so disturbing, and wow. There's just like one image of her where she's like throwing what looks like feces onto a little icon of a child in a corner. I just like, wow, what is this? I'm not okay with it.
Yeah. And when you see some of the people she associates with, like George Soros' son, and she's right in there, what's his name? Podesta. She's right in there, man, with the rich and powerful. It's not, she's not some obscure. She went down to Brazil to see John of God, that guy that got busted just recently from.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
I saw that. Yeah,
she was treated like.
It started. Sorry, go ahead.
No, John of God says he treated her like a celebrity and said, "We're going to give you a special place here in the audience where you could sit there and meditate and help me do the stuff I'm doing to these people." Just unbelievable.
God,
right in your face.
It's really.
And you think she'd
really
be
uncool.
Yeah, you'd think she'd be off, keeping a low profile, but no, she's producing that stuff while all this her name's being bandied about all over the place because of these.
Yeah, I think there is something that I would like to leave your audience with, and that's that a lot of people out there are upset about child sex abuse and stuff, and you see it. People are talking about it everywhere, like in Hollywood and everywhere else. There's so many people that are upset about this right now, and there's a lot of talk turning on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else about it. And I just want to say that, guys, please think about the kids that we're hurting overseas, because, some of these stories that you hear about child sex abuse around here are true, but a lot of it is just speculation. We don't know if it's true that, Epstein was, I don't know, sacrificing kids or something, but like people like to speculate about stuff like that. But here's something you don't have to speculate about. We are killing kids overseas in Iraq, indirectly in Syria, and we're talking about starting to stuff up with Iran, potentially a proxy war inside of Iraq. We are sacrificing children. Yeah. We're killing them. We've killed them in the millions and or the hundreds of thousands. Just think about those kids. You don't have to speculate about those kids. They've been tortured and they've been killed. So, and they've been trafficked. So, spare a thought for the really big picture of, something that's provable and not speculation, and that you could do something about, try to oppose this foreign policy that we have, which is basically to never-endingly kill people overseas. I'm sorry.
No, you're 100% right. And it's the policy of both major parties, Democrats and Republicans. The foreign policy is exactly the same and hasn't let up a bit. This is something that's institutionalized, this military budget. And we don't even have to look overseas to what we're doing. We're doing it right here at the border with these detention centers who are separating kids from their family. 1,400 cases of sexual abuse in these detention centers. That's not something that's bad.
Oh, wow. It's horrible.
It's systemic, Yeah.
Yeah.
But what can you do? What can you do?
Well, what we could do is oppose these wars and oppose politicians that are pushing them and oppose voices in our media that are pushing for them. I already know the U.S. public is anti-war. That's why they voted for Trump, because he was going around lying, saying that he was going to stop these wars. But, I don't know. I don't think protesting is going to do it, though, because before the Iraq War, there were the largest protests in history to try and stop it all over the world. I mean, literally in every part of the world, people were protesting, and it didn't stop it. So I think that protesting isn't enough. I think we have to threaten the politicians, somehow, like Nancy Pelosi, she deserves to lose her seat. I mean, all of these people, they need to go. They need to be put on notice. We're not going to vote for you. We're not going to vote for you. You're done. You're absolutely done. Unless you 100% oppose this stuff and bring that money home to spend on the people of the United States, you're not going to get into office 100%.
It's amazing how much money is funneled off these military contractors and stuff. But just in France this week, they wanted to raise the retirement age, and people took to the streets. The police were there with were really fighting with these people, But they fought, man, and we got to get off our butts here, man, and really take a stand. But we're so apathetic in this country. And
yeah, we're just a giant cash cow for their genocidal, stuff that they do overseas. That's all we do. We just provide them with billions and billions and trillions so that they can stuff their pockets, killing people overseas. It's the most disgusting, sick dynamic. You just have to stop it.
It really is. Like our whole system is set up to leech money out of us through the medical system. We're paying for drug companies, medical care for profit, the oil industry, even the motor vehicles. They said in DMV they're taxing you for your registration, all kinds of sending you fines. All throughout our life, every step of our life is them taking money out of our pockets to go buy bombs, to go put in the pockets of a lot of these politicians getting paid over these people too as well. It's just we're like a cattle, just working, for this capitalist system. Maggie, thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Anything on your heart you want to talk about again, just come back on the air. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay.
So there we had Maggie, who I said before is, I checked her out. This is a legitimate person, professional person, who's well known in her field, respected in her field, award winning. She's won awards. Okay. So there's no doubt about her credibility in my head. You just got to trust me on that. Okay. And there's that. I think you heard she had no agenda. She came here and telling the story as best that she wasn't making things up. She wasn't exaggerating. If she didn't know what she had, this is how I vet a witness. Okay. I just wake up yesterday and started doing this, I got some wacko on Twitter telling me she wants to give me guidance in this area. Okay. What I've been doing before she was born. Okay. This is how I vet a witness. Okay. She wasn't embellishing. Okay. She wasn't making things up. She wasn't hesitant to answer. If she didn't know something, she said she didn't know. She wasn't repeating the same thing over and over again. What didn't change her story in the mid-sentence. These are indicators that you look for someone who's a deception, and I think she's a very credible witness, okay, to these events. And, these kind of shows, when they get out there, they get circulated amongst, and people who lived in that neighborhood would say, I knew that girl, Chris. Get a hold of me, man. Even if you only have a little piece of the puzzle, get a hold of me, and we'll see if we can put it together for you there. So thank you so much, Maggie. Chris, if you're out there, Jessica, Chris, get a hold of us, and we'll follow up on this. Got a lot of great content. We did another show with Stephen Hoffenberg, and it turns out that he believes that Maxwell is not dead because Maxwell listened to our show. Ghislaine Maxwell listened to our show. It got back to her that we were reporting that Hoffenberg thought she was dead. She contacted her spokesperson, this woman Goldman, who contacted Hoffenberg and tells him, no, she's not dead. So now we just have to verify. We need some kind of proof of life, and Hoffenberg's working on that. Of course, we'll have him come back and keep working on you. We got a lot going on here behind the scenes. I finally got some good news coming up. As a matter of fact, as I tape this here on a Sunday morning, I'm going to be having a big meeting today with one of my clients, a big case we're working on. So I got a lot of good things going on in my life for a change. So I'm in a good mood. I can't deny that. So thank you so much, Maggie, for your help here today, bringing us this information. Our member section too, we're having a little problem with that, of course. By the time this airs, that should be straightened out. We're just waiting for the migration over from, and all the passwords will start working again. All right, guys, thank you so much. And now a word from our sponsors. If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4.
Just breathe. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, your top priority should be your well-being. It can feel overwhelming navigating the legal process, understanding how to deal with insurance companies, and receiving the medical attention you need. But our experienced and compassionate legal team will guide you to get the outcome you deserve. Breathe easier and call Buhoff Law at 877-ALL-9s or visit us online at buhofflaw.com. Better off with Buhoff.
Hi, I'm Abby. Since before I was born, Tampa Electric has been cleaning up their energy. They've added lots of solar panels, so by the time I'm finished with high school
and off to college, they'll be way beyond their goal of reducing carbon emissions by 60%. After that, an 80% reduction goal by 2040. In fact, by the time I'm raising
kids of my own, Tampa Electric aims to reach net zero carbon emissions. To learn more about their vision for a cleaner energy future, visit TicoNetZero.com. Tampa Electric, energy for good.
KMD Law. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at KMDLaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to KMDLaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law.
Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
PureSoapFlakes.com, 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to sing a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
Are you ready to change your life, but don't know how to start? Is your stress and worries keeping you awake at night? Have you been battling grief, anxiety, or depression all alone? Have you lost touch with your own sense of being or spirituality? Soul Free Therapies offers professional and affordable live video streaming counseling and coaching services from the comfort of your own home. Sessions offered in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Go to our website at www.soul-free.com and book your first session today.
Hey, check out our brand new sponsor, Dynamic Solutions 2. That's the number 2. They offer a life-changing, dynamic financial solution. The finest in fast, professional, affordable credit repair. Is your credit in bad shape? Do you need a new car? Ready to buy a new house? You want to rent an apartment? Are you going to apply for a job? Any one of these activities, they're going to ask for a credit report and then check out your credit score. Let Dynamic Solutions 2 erase your negative credit remarks. They have affordable monthly prices. They accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal options available. You go to www.dynamicsolutions, that's the number 2.com, or call 424-888-2820. 424-888-2820. Now, if you enter promo code ED or you mention Ed Opperman, you get a 10% discount. How's that? You get a free consultation, all negative items removed, get back in positive credit position. Dynamic Solutions 2, life-changing dynamic financial solutions. 424-888-2820. Tell them Ed Opperman sent you. You get a 10% discount.
Tina Helmuth is writing an ongoing series of fact-fiction books that boldly takes on today's most heinous crimes. Suffer the Little Children, The Wrath of the...
Are you looking for a truly special gift? At Boll & Branch, we don't just make products. We make experiences your loved ones deserve. I'm Scott Tannen, and my wife Missy and I founded our company to bring care to you and your family. We make the most comfortable sheets in the very best way. We do this by holding our supply chain to the highest standard. At Boll & Branch, we source pure organic cotton to make soft, toxin-free sheets. The workers who make our sheets are paid fairly and have come to feel like family. And we don't just make sheets. We make pillows, bath towels, robes, and so much more. Each gift is truly special and makes a difference your loved ones will feel. Even better, they come tied with a bow in our special holiday packaging. For a limited time, you can get 20% off your order. That's 20% off going on now at bollandbranch.com.
Experience a new standard of comfort at bollandbranch.com. That's bollandbranch.com. Promo code DREAMS.
Hi, I'm Addie. Since before I was born, Tampa Electric has been cleaning up their energy. They've added lots of solar panels, so by the time I'm finished with high school
and off to college, they'll be way beyond their goal of reducing carbon emissions by 60%. After that, an 80% reduction goal by 2040. In fact, by the time I'm raising
kids of my own, Tampa Electric aims to reach net zero carbon emissions. To learn more about their vision for a cleaner energy future, visit TicoNetZero.com. Tampa Electric, energy for good.
The Father, and Unbreakable. Deeply researched and mixed with the supernatural, good versus evil makes these thrillers hard to put down. Available at Lulu.com in paperback or ebook.
Es momento de revisar la cobertura en el mercado de seguros de salud y ver si usted califica para una mejor cobertura y precios más bajos. Para conocer sus opciones, visite healthcare.gov. ¿Complicado? No se preocupe. Un navegador de Covering Florida puede ayudarle a encontrar el mejor plan para usted y su familia. Visite coveringflorida.org o llame 877-813-9115. Desde ahora hasta el 15 de enero es gratis y confidencial. 877-813-9115.
Hi, I'm Addie. Since before I was born, Tampa Electric has been cleaning up their energy. They've added lots of solar panels, so by the time I'm finished with high school
and off to college, they'll be way beyond their goal of reducing carbon emissions by 60%. After that, an 80% reduction goal by 2040. In fact, by the time I'm raising
kids of my own, Tampa Electric aims to reach net zero carbon emissions. To learn more about their vision for a cleaner energy future, visit TicoNetZero.com. Tampa Electric, energy for good.